Honda selection.
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily. And not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
The holidays are drawing closer, and there's not many things better than getting the gift of relaxation. Not just for yourself, but for anyone in your life. During November, for every service you get at the Body Shop, you get entered into their drawing for a free massage gift certificate equal to your last service. This goes all the way to the week before Christmas, so book your appointments now at thebodyshoplincoln.com and treat yourself and loved ones today. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Is your furnace operating like you think it should? Find out with a service check now from the pros at Bryant. No matter what make or model, Bryant will perform a thorough system check to make sure you're good to go this winter. Bryant also offers free second opinion heat exchanger checks. Before you spend thousands on a new furnace, let Bryant check it free. Anytime you need furnace service or repair, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Benny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Good afternoon and welcome into On the Block and 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I am Austin Norman. We are awaiting the arrival of the 9-year NBA vet, the Husker Hall of Famer, the birthday week boy, Erick Strickland. Doing his charity thing down in Arizona and Phoenix, I believe it was. He is on his way back. We should have Stricky with us on stream here in the next segment, I would guess here. Don't want to rush him. Make sure he has time to get settled. Definitely looking forward to talking about a lot of stuff with Strick. The Nebraska football loss to Wisconsin will take up a lot of air today. If you have any thoughts on that for Strick and I to get to, you can be part of the conversation at 402-464-5685. That's the Starter Heyman text line. You can also call that same number and use it as the Honda of Lincoln hotline. As always, On the Block is brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Had it on Friday. Charles came through, delivered it here for Mark Onweiler's last day, and we all went out. We all dug in. Wasn't much left at all for the next day, for the football game. So that's how I know Mary Ellen's delivers. They are not open today. They are not open tomorrow. They should be back open on Wednesday, I believe, definitely after the Thanksgiving holidays. So make sure you get yourself down to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. Big thanks as well to Starter Heyman Jewelers for sponsoring the text line, as well as our video streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can get in on the conversation by leaving a comment. And we won't use our Allo VIP line today, but thanks to Allo for sponsoring that, as well as Channel 951. What is on the docket? I did mention that Nebraska-Wisconsin conversation that we'll start to have. I do want Strick's thoughts on Nebraska and Oregon State, the men's basketball game on Saturday. Almost capped a really good weekend for Husker sports. Then the football game had to follow that. Nebraska still searching for win number 6. In hour 2, we'll go across the country. Some interesting results in college football. Who's holding on to slim college football playoff hopes? Has anyone done more to assure themselves of a spot? We'll get into that, as well as the Jordan Travis injury. And then it's feast week. I mean, if you're in Lincoln, just look outside. Step outside for a second if you want, but really just look outside. It's low 40s, maybe mid 40s. It's gray. It's been raining, at least drizzling all day. I'm sure the purists will say, oh, that's football weather, the way it's supposed to be here in Middle America. It's basketball weather. I'm sorry, this is basketball weather. I can respect you football warriors being out there. If you're a fan in the stands, it's in the state championship games, which stay tuned for more on that here on 93.7 The Ticket. I respect it if you're willing to sit out in the cold and the rain and the drizzle and watch football. As for me, my butt's watching basketball, whether it's, college basketball game, a high school basketball game, even the NBA in full swing. This is basketball weather to me. If it's this cold, if it's raining like this, I want to be in a gym. I need to be in a gym, whether that's physically or just with my eyes on the TV. I am looking right now at Tennessee and Syracuse out in Maui. Tennessee has taken its first lead of the game. It's 26-24 Volunteers inside the 1 minute mark remaining in the first half. Pretty much how we expected this game to go. Tennessee definitely known for its defense under head coach Rick Barnes, and Syracuse retooling. Adrian Autry named head coach after Jim Boeheim's retirement. Syracuse has played man. They've done it. They said they were going to. They've stuck to it so far. They're playing man-to-man defense as opposed to the 2-3 zone that Jim Boeheim always runs. I mentioned this on the crossover during the happy hour, but it bears repeating again. I'm no lover of Syracuse basketball, but I do have to tip the cap that I'm wearing to them here. They have never lost a game in Maui. Never lost a game. They're the only team to have been to Maui and not lost a game, at least with multiple trips, I should say. So Syracuse putting that record on the line here this weekend. Tennessee just hit a bucket. Dalton Neck, that's a name you're going to want to get familiar with. Fantastic player, three-level type of scorer. The question after he transferred was about his defense. Is he willing to and able to defend at the level that Rick Barnes and Tennessee desire? Well, he's a starter. He's filling up the stat sheet. He defends. He puts the ball in the bucket. So Dalton Neck out at Tennessee, definitely a name that I want you guys to be looking out for. We will do a full Feast Week preview. Nick mentioned the tournament going on. It's the Maui Invitational taking place in Honolulu. The Lahaina Convention Civic Center was affected by the wildfires earlier this year. So they had to move the tournament from the island of Maui to the island of Honolulu. So we will, obviously wish the best for that tournament and the people of Maui. Hope they're able to get back on their feet and get Maui back to Maui. Battle for Atlantis is going to be a fun one. Maui's stealing a lot of headlines. Battle for Atlantis is fun. You have some interesting games going on in the Emerald Coast Challenge. Fort Myers Tip-Off Hall of Fame Classic. I think I mentioned that as well, with Creighton taking part in that one. But it's the Loyola Chicago element that I really want to talk with Strick about. We had this conversation a little bit as it relates to Florida Atlantic, who, in case you missed it, top 15 Florida Atlantic, upset by Bryant late last week. Yes, Bryant. Weird. We'll keep monitoring Florida Atlantic. Again, with a lot of hype after their Final Four run last year. But can Florida Atlantic sustain it? Loyola Chicago hasn't. After its, really 2-year run, where's Loyola been since then? So what goes into building a solid, consistent mid-major program at the basketball level? Is it any different than building at the football level and sustaining, kind of like Boise State did for the longest time, Utah before it got the invite to the Pac-12? Maybe UCF was on that path, but they got the Big 12 invitation, and they had to jump on it. So I really want Strick's opinion on that. Again, any thoughts on Nebraska and Wisconsin, let us know at 402-464-5685 or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can leave a comment. It pops up here on our screen, and we'll do the best we can to get to it. But, of course, the news of the day, Nebraska falls to Wisconsin in football, 24-17, the final score. Husker Hall of Famers getting connected. We'll take a break. When we get back, we'll talk Nebraska and Wisconsin, give our thoughts on how that football game went down and what it means that Nebraska is still searching for win number 6 and elusive bowl eligibility. Erick Strickland joins the show. We'll bring him in next.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
The holidays are drawing closer, and there's not many things better than getting the gift of relaxation. Not just for yourself, but for anyone in your life. During November, for every service you get at the Body Shop, you get entered into their drawing for a free massage gift certificate equal to your last service. This goes all the way to the week before Christmas, so book your appointments now at thebodyshoplincoln.com and treat yourself and loved ones today. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space. Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that can surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group are Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today expecting scattered showers throughout the day. We'll see a high of around 47. Tonight, a slight chance of scattered showers early, then mainly cloudy and breezy. We'll see a low around 36. And tomorrow, mainly sunny skies, generally breezy too. We'll see a high of around 46. I'm meteorologist outlook for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With Gold Class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Whether it's playing on a sports team or creating art, it's important to encourage your kids to explore their interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let your child know you believe in their passions. It can contribute to your child's focus and improve the quality of their schoolwork too. So show that budding scientist some encouragement by helping them with an experiment or play catch with your baseball enthusiast.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Jeff Esting, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless of people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their lives. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to enroll during the Black Friday sale. You can join the January 10-Week Challenge for half price. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching for 50% off. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to enroll today. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Strick and Austin are here. I'm in the studio. Strick is remote, and I'm hearing myself back. Stricky, are you there? Stricky, you got me?
Hear me?
Let's try now.
Here we go. Can you hear me?
Hey, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know why there's an echo, but there's definitely an echo. I can hear it as well. I don't know if you can hear it on the, those who are listening right now, but it's definitely an echo.
We will work to get that figured out here. Stricky, I'll just let you talk here. Nebraska, Wisconsin, your thoughts on the game?
Well, once again, when you look at Nebraska and you look at this Wisconsin game, got off to a great start, 14-0. They were looking really good, moving the ball, made some big plays, made some big catches. Everything was looking nice and smooth. And then the next thing you know, it just got stagnant. I don't know, if you can say it got basic. It got stagnant. There was nothing that this Wisconsin team that did anything special. Numbers across the board looked well. You actually won as far as the total numbers as far as this game. So what can you say won this game? To me, Austin, you just got to be honest and look at the numbers. The total numbers will tell the deal in this game. And what was that? You lost in the penalties. You had more penalties, 7 for 54 to their 4 for 45. But here's the main one: interception. They didn't turn the ball over. You didn't create any turnovers. We talked about it on the shows, what Nebraska would need to do. We thought going on the road, going up there to Madison, how they could win this game. It looked like they were going to be in good shape to do so. But the one thing that they didn't do, they didn't get turnovers. They had one, and they come up 7 points short. Other than that, there's not much difference that I could see in this game. I saw that they tried to be creative in a couple times, tried to throw a couple trick plays out there, and it ended up not working in that specific instance, the one that I saw. So yeah, man, it's wild to see, but again, I kept saying it, man. Your opportunities, you got to go put it in the bank. They did not do so. Now the pressure is definitely on. It's mounting. We're gonna have to see what they're gonna do when Black Friday shows up and Iowa comes in black. Well, I don't know. They might not be wearing black, but.
We will. The thing about that too, Strick, is we've talked a lot about the.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to come back. Maybe that's something to do with it. I'll come back, but go ahead. Make your point.
Okay. We talk a lot about the offense and the defense for Nebraska and how big a deal those sides of the ball are, but we forget about the third phase, the special teams. And Aben Rosalie says as much. He says special teams lost the game with a missed field goal and bad punting. Yeah, special teams weren't great for Nebraska. Brian Buschini had that 19-yard punt on the day, 5 punts for 35 yards per punt is really all Brian Buschini got done. That's not enough to cut it. If the offense is going to struggle and the defense is, you played okay, maybe not its best game, definitely deserved better. But if the offense is going to struggle and the defense is going to be put in bad positions, that's a tough recipe. You look at what Iowa does to succeed. They don't miss on their punts. Torrey Taylor is one of the best to do it in college football history, not just recently. He's going to have a long NFL career. He's really good. Nebraska's special teams, the missed field goal, that's 3 points on the board at the end of the first half that Nebraska worked for. Earned. They put together a good drive to end the half, and maybe not perfectly managed, but managed well enough to get down to field goal range. And you leave 3 points out there, the ball just doesn't turn back over and sneak through the uprights. Okay, missed field goals happen. Ovano was on a bit of a hot streak. You still have 30 minutes of football to play, but bad punts at bad times, and then you give up plenty of return yards too. Wisconsin had a 25-yard punt return, a 27-yard kick return, whereas Nebraska got a whole 29 yards total in both punt and kick returns. So we've talked a lot of offense, we've talked a lot of defense, but Strick, because the margin for error is so small for this Nebraska team, even the special teams has to be a lot better than it's been.
Well, Austin, that's what I've been saying. I'm saying those are the things that they have to win. In order for this team to have any type of success, if you got a solid defense, you got to give them a chance, give them more space, because it's not one of those defense that they've got guys coming off the edge and you've got to worry about them. They're going to, in a couple of instances, maybe give you a lot of tackle for losses. They can do that, but I'm saying in the totality of it, it's easier for them to do it with more yardage to gain than having shorter fields, because they still maintain a very a kind of bend but don't break type of defense with some attack to it. That's really kind of their operated, the way they operate. So that's the part that if you don't have your special teams giving you anything, or they're giving you short fields, or they're shanking punts, or they're not making field goals, and you're going to put yourself in trouble and you're going to come up short. I mean, it's just unfortunate the way it is. And then you turn the ball over. I mean, look, they happen. It's not 4 of them in a game. It's 1. Okay. But the thing they have to do more of, and I mean, they have to preach this. They have to preach digging. They have to preach hawking. They have to preach, ganging up, putting helmets on ball. I mean, they really have to teach and preach that, because otherwise it's going to be a continuation of the same.
We have a comment on that from the text line as well. Drew in Wahoo says, I don't know about you guys, but I've been happy with the defense all year, but don't get me wrong. They've been part of the problem some games too. I don't know if I would say the defense has been part of the problem, but sometimes it just, like I said last week, Strick, one play away. They need to find a way to create a moment, to make a big play, to switch momentum up, to change the field position when the offense is struggling. The defense is good. The defense is the least of my concerns, but that's not to say that those guys shouldn't want to get better, and there are plenty of plays out there that elite defenses make that Nebraska just doesn't. They can change a game.
Yeah. And that's just the thing. They just don't do those things right now. And we've always been saying it on the show and on multiple shows that we know where the deficiencies lie. Shout out to Chubba Purdy, came prepared, he did his thing, but again, I think they're limited on what they can do. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just, as the analogy I'll continue to use, it's like golfing, or it's like shooting. If it's a day that I know my jumper's off, I mean, some good shooters just continue to shoot. You got your Steph Currys and guys like that. I mean, they'll continue to shoot. I will, for an instance too. If I know I've got a good shot, I would. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to try to make other plays. I'm trying to get charges. I'm trying to dive for loose balls. I'm trying to, drive and penetrate and create opportunities for other teammates if it's not working for me that night. And it's like that, because guess what you can do to a team? You can also hurt them by turning the ball over. You can hurt them by taking bad shots. You can hurt them by being out of position. You can hurt them. So there's a lot of ways you can hurt a team. So just do the things that you do successfully to help the team to win. We know that about this team. That's what this team is. I would say, if you look at it as a whole, Chubba did pretty good for what he can do, I think. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, he got him the lead that he can get him. But I really think the special teams just let us down this game.
Special teams let down, and even the offense, Strick. I mean, they score in the first two drives on big plays. Chubba Purdy with the wheels on the first scramble. Jalen Lloyd breaks a tackle on a nice pitch and catch there for a 58-yard touchdown where Nebraska was behind the chains. Didn't matter. They had two great individual plays. But then Nebraska only has 25 yards of offense in the third quarter. That's unacceptable. That tells you this offense is still spinning its wheels in the mud far too often. But on Chubba Purdy, I was very impressed with him, only having the turnover that came in overtime. But Strick, think back to how he looked at his start against Michigan last year. Rattled, flustered, sped up, even in his relief duty. He looked so much calmer, so much more under control, and confident in his throwing motion. And it didn't look like Nebraska was, scared to throw the ball with him back there. This was a huge step in the right direction for Chubba Purdy's development as a quarterback. Absolutely.
I don't have no pushback to that. I would agree with you. I think getting fully healthy, getting back, having an off season. If I'm him, real talk, Austin, I'm going out with my brother. Look, he don't got the big paper yet, but he's going to have the opportunities to train with certain people that most people aren't going to be able to train. If I'm Chubba, I'm getting in my brother's back pocket, side pocket, in his luggage, whatever the case may be. I'm getting next to him so I can, observe, watch. I mean, because obviously right now Nebraska doesn't have a quarterback coach. Satterwhite, I guess, takes on that duty, but they're not getting the type of coaching that you would love to get from probably a solid quarterback coach. It's not available to them. So if I'm him in my offseason, if I want to take another stride, if I want to come back and really compete for whoever they're going to bring in, and trust me, I believe that they're going to try to bring, probably a couple in here. If I want to come back and compete for it, I really want to get more of a pro mentality of what I'm seeing, because it looks as if Satterwhite wants to run that style of offense, more of a pro style.
It sure does. And Chubba Purdy hasn't locked up a starting job for next year. I don't think anyone should. One good drive at the end of Maryland and one better than what we've seen game from the other quarterbacks doesn't assure him of the starting spot next year. But you see promise, you see potential in him, and why Nebraska went to get him in the first place. We'll wrap up this segment again on the text line 402-464-5685. Heavy asks, if there aren't enough bowl-eligible teams, and Nebraska doesn't get to 6 wins, do they accept the bowl bid if they're invited as a 5-win team? Yes, Nebraska would accept. I don't know why they would turn it down. But the issue, Strick, is that there's so many teams ahead of them in terms of the APR, the academic progress rate, and so many teams that, like Nebraska, have a chance to get to 6 wins already. So the easiest way, of course, is find a way to beat Iowa. Get to 6 wins yourself and don't rely on it, because Nebraska is so far down the pecking order of a 5 and 7 teams. They might not even get the chance to turn it down, because it might just not even get to them because there's so many teams ahead of them.
Look, you've had you've had at least 3 opportunities, let's just say, to bank it. 3. That's on you. Like, at this point, it's on you. When are you gonna go into the game, on the field, in the locker room, in the practice, and say, it's on us, man? Let's go take. If you don't this week, when are you gonna do it? It ain't gonna happen. So that's the issue. That you've had opportunities to put it in the bank and not have to worry about this, but now the pressure's on you because it ain't on Iowa. And Iowa's like, shoot, we're going to Big Ten championship game. We got a good bowl. We coming in here to give you that work too. So that's the way I could see them acting as far as their mentality is concerned. And I believe that Iowa's going to take the approach of we're gonna continue to attack. We're going to bend and don't break. You stink at special teams. We're going to beat you there. We're just going to beat you in the categories that we know we can beat you, because we just don't believe you. Like, we just don't believe that you can drive far on us or you can go all the way on us. You're going to make a mistake, and we're going to be there ready to take advantage of it. That's how I can see it going.
I think that's a great question for the text line. Let us know your thoughts on Iowa's motivations. Are they motivated by revenge for Nebraska beating them last year? Are they motivated by spite to try to keep Nebraska out of a bowl game, again, for every year since the 2016 season? Or does Iowa kind of rest on its laurels? Is it happy with making the Big Ten championship game, having that locked up? Are they maybe flat? Did they celebrate a week too soon? Let us know your thoughts at 402-464-5685. We'll take another break. When we get back, more from the Husker Hall of Famer during On the Block.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl area rugs, or custom blinds, you gotta come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless of people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their lives. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. Now is the best time to enroll during the Black Friday sale. You can join the January 10-week challenge for half price. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching for 50% off. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to enroll today. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting scattered showers throughout the day. We'll see a high of around 47. Tonight, a slight chance of scattered showers early, then mainly cloudy and breezy. We'll see a low of around 36. And tomorrow, mainly sunny skies return to be breezy too. We'll see a high of around 46. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block. Maybe. We thought we had it fixed. We'll go every other here like we were doing. We'll find a way to make it work. Strick, to the text line we go here again, 402-464-5685. 3880 says, Iowa is going to come in and try to impose their will on Nebraska. Unlike Nebraska, they know their identity. They do their jobs well. That's what gave me hope for Nebraska against Wisconsin, was that Nebraska knew what it was, knew how to muddy a game up, and that Wisconsin, in going away from that defense and run-first identity, would have kind of, been trying to figure out who it was, with Braille and Allen still banged up. 22 carries for him was a lot. That's more than I expected him to get. Only 62 yards, but a huge fourth down conversion. He gets the touchdown at the end of the game, as well as another touchdown. Iowa knows what it is. Nebraska is still in the phases of program building, and Iowa still has plenty to play for. I think the Hawkeyes come in plenty motivated to try to get the Heroes Trophy back home and to just keep Nebraska at home. They know that Nebraska hasn't been to a bowl game in so long, and I think nothing would make Iowa happier than to keep Nebraska home 1 year longer.
Of course. I mean, because so it's me. So listen. That's not going to be good. I will call in.
Strick will call in. We'll make it work. Sorry, as we work through some technical issues. Computers were being worked on yesterday. We will keep fighting through this as best we can. And Al on the text line asks, how many points have we given away in the last 3 weeks because we got greedy? If you don't think that Iowa doesn't want to put a beat down on the Huskers one more time for Brian Ferentz, you're crazy. Seeing the reaction from the locker room in how they rally behind Brian Ferentz, they know what their limitations are. They know how to handle them. But that locker room is all about Brian Ferentz. They love him, and that's what they should do. They wouldn't be at Iowa if they didn't, want to play for a guy like that. So credit to Iowa for knowing who it is, for getting the division wrapped up with a week to go. We'll keep talking more about this game. Also, some Nebraska men's basketball against Oregon State, a general look around at the weekend in college football, and plenty more as we continue on the block in 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and Decorators composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance and to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online to deckcityne.com.
Elway Power Sports of Lincoln will have you scoring big on savings with up to $3,000 off CF Moto side-by-sides and ATVs. Whether you're looking for a work-tough U-Force or a performance-ready Z-Force, CF Moto has a machine made for you all under one roof at our new 27th and I-80 location. And don't miss our Black Saturday sales event on November 25th with doorbusters and specials throughout the store. Visit our website, elwaypslincoln.com for more details. Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
We are back. Hour 2 of the show comes to you live from the northwest corner of 11th and O Street. 1040 O Street, the specific address, if you're looking for it, for Friday. If you're in town and you want to come by, we will have our normal pregame show ahead of Iowa and Nebraska. 11 o'clock kicks, so that means pregame starts bright and early, 8 o'clock in the morning. Early break on Friday into pregame. That's right. Jake Sipp, Coach Bill Bush will be with you. And then we'll do our normal 3 hours of pregame. And then also, we'll have some volleyball coverage. After the regular postgame show, right, Jay and Nick will do their thing. Bach and I will be on for a little while after that. Volleyball postgame, Nebraska and Wisconsin to end the regular season. That'll be on Friday as well. Or one of the last games of the regular season. Rico, our volleyball guy, would know. I think it's the final game. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to double check with Rico there. But we will have some volleyball coverage for you as well. Big shout out to Husker Volleyball as they clinch the Big Ten, still with a couple games to play in the regular season. Huskers still undefeated. They win the Big Ten Conference Championship last night. They do it at Iowa. How sweet it is to beat the Hawkeyes on the road, wrap up the Big Ten title officially. So big congrats to John Cook and that team for that honor. Big shout out to Nebraska soccer as well. They are on to the Elite Eight. They win their first 3 games in the tournament here at home. So big shout out to Nebraska soccer going on to the Elite Eight. And of course, the men's basketball win. Strick and I will get into that just a little bit here before we give you a look at the college football landscape. Jordan Travis being injured for Florida State. What does that mean for the Seminoles playoff chances? Do you jump them with Washington. I think Washington should have been ahead of Florida State given the head-to-head anyways, but we'll get into that. Also, big shout-out to the text line. You guys are on it. You're on me. It is Minnesota after Wisconsin. So Wisconsin Friday must be then Minnesota after that. So, okay, now the final game of the regular season. Appreciate you, text line, for being on it. Let's go to the VIP line brought to you by Allo and see if we have the Husker Hall of Famer. Stricky is not there. Okay. Never mind. Looks like it's just me. So, let's turn the page now to Nebraska men's basketball. Their win over Oregon State. The Huskers get it done. Final score of 84-63. Slow start for Nebraska. They start the game off down 6-0. Jordan Pope was the one guy that everyone thought could beat you, and he did his best, right? He went off. He goes 8 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3, perfect at the free throw line, 6 of 6. On his way to 25 points. Jordan Pope was awesome in that game for Oregon State. Nebraska's perimeter defense, no one they put on him really did anything to be able to slow Jordan Pope down. So he goes off for 25 points. But other than that, not much doing. Bladeau for them, also the big man, played 33 out of the 40 possible minutes, had 15 points and 7 boards. Perfect 7 of 7 at the free throw line. But after that 6-0 run, you could see Nebraska, get on the board, loosen up a little bit in front of a wildly, vastly pro-Nebraska crowd. And then once Nebraska got on track, it was off to the races. Nebraska had a 30-5 run at one point there in the first half to really take control of that game. After starting off, like I said, down 6-0, Nebraska ends up winning the first half with the final score of 44-24. So huge statement made by the Huskers in the first half, up 20 at halftime. They would push the lead into the low to mid 30s. I think it got as big as 35 at one point. And Fred Hoiberg, when he spoke to the media, I think this would have been today when he said this, not after the game, said, we started trading buckets with Oregon State. We didn't stay locked in and locked down on the defensive end. And they let that lead get down to 20, but Nebraska does, of course, end up winning that game. 84-63, the final score for Nebraska. 40-39 second half, so not nearly as dominant for the Big Red. But the first taste Nebraska had of a Power 5 opponent, I think Nebraska handled it very well. Again, they found a way to overcome the slow start at the beginning of the game and to have a 20-point advantage at halftime. The Pentagon was rocking. It was going absolutely nuts. It was a game that I wish I could have gone to. I was up there for Nebraska's win over Oklahoma State in that building, I think 5 years ago it would have been. But we welcome back in the Husker Hall of Famer, Erick Strickland, with us here. Strick, we're talking about Nebraska and Oregon State on the basketball front. 84-63, the Huskers win. Bryce Williams looked really good for Nebraska. Juwan Gary did his thing. Rink Mast was doing Rink Mast things. After that shaky start, down 6-0, Nebraska really stepped it up and controlled that game. Oregon State's not a great Power 5 team, but what were your thoughts on the Huskers and Badgers on Saturday?
Well, oh, shoot. I don't know. I can't even give a take today. Maybe there we go. Oh well, maybe not. Yeah, unfortunately.
I'll just take over. We'll see what we can get done. Stricky is trying. He's at home. We don't know exactly what the issue is. We will keep efforting that. Maybe see if we can have Bach give Strick a call here. Stricky, we tried. We appreciate it. We'll see what we can get done. See if we bring him back. If not, we'll just talk to Strick tomorrow. But again, for Nebraska, a very balanced effort overall. I mean, you're led by Bryce Williams, who has 25 points. He goes 9 of 17 from the floor and 3 of 7 from 3. Rink Mast, not his most efficient day from the floor. He has 15 points on 5 of 12, but 5 of 6 at the free throw line, and was a monster on the offensive board. 7 rebounds on defense, 6 of them on offense to add up to 13. So another double-double for Rink Mast, who continues to prove his value to this Nebraska men's basketball team. And then off the bench, Juwan Gary plays 21 minutes, scores 12 points. He goes 5 of 10 from the floor, only hits 1 of his 3-pointers. It was the spot up attempt. It was the one that looked the best for Juwan Gary. He knocked it down. But again, it was the rebounding. Juwan Gary, a double-double off the bench. 12 points and 10 rebounds. 6 of those rebounds on defense, 4 of them on offense. It seems like Nebraska is going to roll with this rotation where you have the 2 guards and Tominaga and Lawrence starting with Bryce Williams on the wing. Josiah Allick is a wing and interior type of player. And then Rink Mast really manning the middle. I don't know how much Nebraska will play Josiah Allick as the lone big man as the season continues. I think he's proven that he's capable of doing it. I like the look that it gives Nebraska, but against some of these teams that are a little bit bigger than Oregon State was, even against a Creighton, maybe there's some room for Josiah Allick to play there. But I say that that's the starting lineup with Juwan Gary coming off the bench because Bryce Williams is an adequate defender, maybe not a lockdown style guy, but what he does give you is that silky smooth scoring. Had some really nice takes of his own. Again, hit a spot up 3-pointers, 3 of 7. That's 42.8%, 42.6% if my math is right, somewhere in there. Hit the easy ones, the ones that were available to him like he was supposed to. Had a nice dunk on a back cut. But the energy that Juwan Gary brings off the bench, just think about the amount of pestering that can go on between Juwan Gary and Sam Hoiberg on the defensive end of the floor, and you bring those guys off the bench. Marcus Lawrence isn't a bad defender. Keisei Tominaga tries. He's a willing defender. He's just not the biggest guy, so teams can take advantage of him a little bit on the defensive end. Bryce Williams, a good positional defender. Josiah Allick can slide, I think, 1 through 5, at least capably. You definitely prefer to have him matched up on someone a little bit bigger so Josiah Allick can use his athleticism and quickness advantage as opposed to trying to use his strength and length against guards. Again, I think Pope was a good example of that. But then even Rink Mast, Nebraska still lacks a true interior presence at the rim on defense. Blaise Keita, brought in from the JUCO ranks. People thought he was going to be that at a chiseled, 6'11", but Blaise Keita is a charge taker. He hasn't exactly, locked the rim down. A good positional defender, but not a denier, not an enforcer in the middle. Juwan Gary, I think, gives you some of that, even though he's playing a lot of small forward, maybe even some power forward in some lineups. Juwan Gary might be one of Nebraska's best rim protectors. I think there's some of that in Josiah Allick. Rink Mast is going to be on time in his rotations and be in the way. But I think in terms of blocked shots, Juwan Gary's the way to go. I think he's got enough vertical pop. I think he's a smart enough defender as well that being able to bring his smarts and energy off the bench with Sam Hoiberg, we know all about his instincts and the way that he can change a game with his perimeter defense. Being able to bring those two guys off the bench is a great luxury for Nebraska, which defends fine without them, but can crank it up a notch with them on the floor. You look at CJ Wilcher. He, to me, still is a key piece of this Nebraska team. Only played 13 minutes, took 2 shots. Both of them were threes. He hit one of them, had an assist. So 3 points and an assist in 13 minutes, the final line for CJ Wilcher. I love his role on this team as the glue guy. I wasn't sure he would go back to the bench after Keisei Tominaga returned. I wondered if Jamarcus Lawrence might make that move, but Jamarcus Lawrence has handled point guard duties much better over the last couple games, sending CJ Wilcher to the bench. CJ's going to play quite a bit of 2, maybe some 3 and a super small ball 4 potentially, but he's steady. He makes the right play more often than not. He's got a little off the bounce pop and juice. You saw a nice spin move a couple times already this season from CJ Wilcher as he drives to the rim. We know he's a capable shooter. Still waiting for that elite season from CJ Wilcher where he's up in the low to mid 40s instead of just trying to crack 40. But that might be in CJ Wilcher, especially if the looks he's getting are simplified, easier, and more consistent. Really, I think with Jamarcus Lawrence learning on the fly how to play point guard, that's going to help CJ Wilcher. Keisei Tominaga is still going to draw a lot of eyeballs. There should be spot-up opportunities for Wilcher. And the passing of Josiah Allick and Rink Mast out of the post. Wherever those guys are on the floor, they're able to find a guard spotted up or coming off a screen and set a good screen. Josiah Allick can definitely free CJ Wilcher up. Rink Mast can draw a couple bodies down in the post on that drive from the elbow to the rim. and then hit the kick out. He can hit it on the short roll too. We've seen that where teams will blitz Nebraska's ball handlers, leaving a numbers advantage for the Huskers on the offensive end. Usually that's 3-on-2. Every so often it's 4-on-3. But if it's Rink Mast or Josiah Alec with the ball and they catch it, free throw line extended and can get downhill, those guys have played enough basketball and they're good enough passers that they won't get tunnel vision. They'll be able to see the kickouts to the weak side, or if the defense has already rotated over and it's the strong side guy trying to take them, they're good enough passers. They can make that kind of shovel strong side pass for a three. That benefits a guy like CJ Wilcher, who is at his best when his feet are set. He can come off screens here and there, but the most consistent CJ Wilcher, as it is for most players, is the CJ Wilcher with his feet set. So I think Nebraska has a lot of ways to look for CJ Wilcher as kind of a release valve, as a safety guy. I would compare it to the running back out in the flat that Nebraska football doesn't use much at all. Is that, no, he's probably not your primary option, but you could do a lot worse than kicking the ball to CJ Wilcher spotted up on the corner or filling up to the wing. The other guy that I think bears some mention is Jerron Coleman, who I think pretty clearly slots in as the backup point guard right now, even though he's a little bigger than Jamarcus Lawrence. Boogie Coleman played 15 minutes, was all in Sioux Falls, only scored 1 point, went 1-2 at the free throw line, but he had 3 assists, pulled down a couple rebounds as well. Jerron Coleman, I think, can be... Let me explain this first. The difference between an X factor and a glue guy. CJ Wilcher as a glue guy is one that just ties the team together. He can fill multiple roles, keep guys engaged, make the next right play, keep the game moving along. An X factor is one that you're not exactly sure what you're going to get night to night for whatever reason. If they're off, you need someone else to step up. But if they're on, he can cover for a starter not being up to par. Jerron Coleman, for me, slides a little bit more in that X factor role. I think there are going to be games that he'll have the ball in his hands a lot, whether it's Jamarcus Lawrence in foul trouble, Keisei Tominaga being hounded. There's going to be a role for Jerron Coleman. There wasn't necessarily against Oregon State. He was fine. He didn't do anything wrong, right? I still think that's a really good player. There's a reason he played the minutes he did at Missouri, got the MAC honors that he did at Ball State. Jerron Coleman's a baller. Dude can play. I think there's just a little more volatility in his game than there is with CJ Wilcher's. So just look for that as the season moves on. Look for Jerron Coleman to make an impact in some games, but maybe fade to the background in some others. Let us know your thoughts on the basketball game. 402-464-5685 here. The number if you have any thoughts on Nebraska-Wisconsin football or Nebraska-Oregon State men's basketball, 84-63. Women's basketball does fall to Creighton yesterday. Creighton was never really able to pull away. Nebraska kept it close, just wasn't able to get that final push all the way over the hump. So tough loss for Amy Williams and her squad against Creighton. Nick and I mentioned it. The men will take on the Blue Jays on December the 3rd. Brad on the text line asks, where's Lloyd? I assume you mean Ramel Lloyd Jr. Great question. At the beginning of the year, it seemed like there's a knee injury that was holding him out that he needed to work through. He's still listed as day-to-day, I think was the last report on Ramel Lloyd Jr. Fascinating piece for this team. If you listen to Lloyd's in Lincoln here, that's the 11 to noon show on Sundays with Mel Jr. and Rock, his dad. What Rock has said, and Ramel really bought into as a kid, was even though he was tall, even though he was lanky and long, most places, most coaches would have either stuck him under the basket to take advantage of, easy putbacks, just throwing the ball off the glass till it went in, or even on the wing, as long and lanky as he is. But Mel has point guard skills. He wants to handle the ball. He's a good passer. He's a willing passer, sometimes almost too unselfish, his dad has said, and even him. Ramel Lloyd Jr. provides an element to this team where I think he's a good mix of Jerron Coleman and Bryce Williams. That's kind of what I envision Ramel Lloyd Jr. as right now. Again, having played at Sierra Canyon with all the talent that he did out in California, Ramel Lloyd Jr. doesn't need to be a star, but that doesn't mean when he's healthy that Fred Hoiberg shouldn't unleash him. The skill set is tantalizing. Can always, learn to grow more as a shooter and get more consistent from long range. But the length on defense, obviously, we know how length impacts what teams want to do. But even on offense, to have long arms, to be tall, you can get passes at different angles than shorter point guards. I like his handle. I like his ability to rebound and run. Athletic, even in traffic. So no Ramel Lloyd Jr. as of yet. I don't think he makes his debut on Wednesday, but I really hope that we do get to see Ramel Lloyd Jr. unleash this season for Nebraska men's basketball. Again, I really like the skill set. And one of my buddies pointed this out. I hadn't really thought about it, but he brings up a couple of really good examples for what happens for players when they sit out a year under Fred Hoiberg. Two of the best examples of that are Derek Walker and Delano Banton. Both of those guys transfer in. Delano Banton from Western Kentucky. Derek Walker, don't forget, did transfer into Nebraska. He came from Tennessee. Both of those guys had to sit. They weren't immediately eligible. So what did they do? They got in the lab. They got skill development. And look how good both those guys were. Delano Banton, I think Ramel Lloyd's a little more athletic than Junior is a little more athletic than. I think he's a little bit better of a shooter, more consistently than Delano Banton. But what Banton did was he always made the right pass, always made the right play, and was a solid rebounder, good positional rebounder. So if I'm Fred Hoiberg, I don't know if I would compare Ramel Lloyd Jr. and Delano Banton 1-to-1. I think there's a lot of good, though, that can be taken away from how Delano Banton, learned and what he became for that Nebraska basketball team. But the point of bringing those two guys up is that players that have sat out a year under Fred Hoiberg's watch at Nebraska have gone on to be pretty good. Delano Banton got picked in the second round of the NBA draft, and I don't need to tell you listeners just how important Derek Walker was to last year's team. Made it work even without a traditional center game. Made it work against Creighton. Made it work against Purdue. Did a lot of unique things that were tough to guard. So Ramel Lloyd Jr., with a year of work under this coaching staff, on top of his natural talent and the work ethic that he has, I'm excited to see. I hope we see the best of Ramel Lloyd Jr., or at least the start of Ramel Lloyd Jr., and the best of what he can offer in his first college action and real extended college action, hopefully in December. But if not, you can always, always, always use more depth in February. If it takes him that long to crack the rotation till late January and early February, that's when teams are gassed. They're bored. They're in the middle of the season. It's a slog. They need a burst of energy. If it takes that long for Ramel Lloyd Jr. to make an impact, that's fine. Nebraska has shown that it doesn't necessarily need him, but I think the team would greatly benefit from what Ramel Lloyd Jr. can bring to the table. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. No Erick Strickland. We tried a few times. We'll keep trying to resolve those for the next time Stricky has to stream in. We're going to go to break. When we get back, I'm going to play a conversation I had with Tom Chattel of the Omaha World Herald, the Husker Extra Hour from yesterday. That's 4 to 5 on Sundays here in 93.7 The Ticket. Really appreciate Tom jumping on at 4:30. Sam McEwen joins us at 4. So Sunday afternoons, make sure, at least this next Sunday, I think it's going to be the last Husker Extra Hour show. Tune in to hear Sam and Tom break down the game that Nebraska football just played, the positive, the negative, everything it means. But I like Tom's conversation yesterday, so we're going to throw it to break. When we get back, you'll hear my conversation with Tom Chattel from the Husker Extra Hour yesterday. I'm Austin Norman. This is On the Block in 93.7 The Ticket.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless of people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their lives. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. Now is the best time to enroll during the Black Friday sale. You can join the January 10-week challenge for half price. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching for 50% off. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to enroll today. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With Gold Class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Elway Power Sports of Lincoln will have you scoring big on savings with up to $3,000 off CF Moto side-by-sides and ATVs. Whether you're looking for a work-tough U-Force or a performance-ready Z-Force, CF Moto has a machine made for you all under one roof at our new 27th and I-80 location. And don't miss our Black Saturday sales event on November 25th with doorbusters and specials throughout the store. Visit our website, elwaypslincoln.com for more details.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, actually, it's just Austin. Strick was traveling back. He tried to jump on the show. Wasn't quite able to make it work. Appreciate the effort out of the 9-year NBA vet, the Husker Hall of Famer. He'll be back tomorrow for another full show of On the Block. We're going to turn it over now to me from yesterday. I host the Husker Extra Hour. I've been in the last few weeks talking with Sam McEwen and Tom Chattel about the most recent Husker game. This time, obviously, Nebraska and Wisconsin is what was on the docket. Tom Chattel, I started off that conversation by asking him about why it was that Nebraska and Wisconsin never took off as a series like Nebraska and Iowa did.
Yeah, it's just plain and simple, man. Wisconsin's not better.
Okay, maybe we won't replay that conversation if it's going to be echoing as well. Looks like there's something going on with one of our pods. So we, again, apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll work to get those figured out. Quick note in college football, something to monitor is the health and the availability of Jordan Travis for Florida State. The Seminoles ranked number 4 in the college football playoff rankings. Beat North Alabama yesterday 58-13. Tack a late touchdown on to get to 58. But they lose Jordan Travis in the process. Jordan Travis probably wasn't going to win the Heisman. It was having a fantastic year for the Seminoles. He goes down with a knee injury. And obviously Florida State, plenty talented across the board. But the quarterback's the engine. Jordan Travis worked his way at the depth chart from the time he got to Florida State. Could have transferred out here or there, but he stuck it out and became a star under Mike Norvell. And sticking in Tallahassee, him going down with a knee injury absolutely, to me, kills the Seminoles' chances of getting into the college football playoff. Now, if Florida State is able to win its final game of the regular season, then take care of business against Louisville in the ACC championship game, you'd say, well, why would they get jumped? You know, they're number 4. They did everything asked of them. I think it's for 2 reasons. Number 1, Washington's win over Oregon is a better win than anything Florida State can say right now. Not a bad schedule that Florida State's played, but I just don't think any win holds that weight for the Seminoles like the Oregon win does for Washington. And Washington has the stars available. It shouldn't factor in. The committee would say it wouldn't factor in. But there's a sneaking suspicion I have that Washington would jump Florida State partially because Jordan Travis is out, because of how much he means to the Seminoles. Keon Coleman's great, Trey Benson's great, Jared Verse is great, but it's Jordan Travis. He's the quarterback. He's the headliner. You want him available. If he's not there to play, look at Washington. Michael Penix, Jalen McMillan, Roman Dunze, really great defense. Kalen DeBoer is an awesome story. Oh, and they probably would have beaten Oregon twice. Washington's not getting into the playoff if Oregon gets revenge for that game up in Seattle. But if Washington were to beat Oregon twice, handle the rest of an improved Pac-12. Really, I don't think anyone saw this version of the Pac-12 coming this year. It would be incredibly difficult to leave a relatively healthy, well, again, everyone's banged up at the end of the year, but a Washington team with presumably all its stars available out of the playoff in favor of a Florida State without Jordan Travis. Florida State's good. I just don't think the entertainment value is the same. Florida State's ceiling is to be determined without Jordan Travis in the lineup as well. So I would say over the next couple weeks, maybe even as early as tomorrow, when the next college football playoff rankings come out, I would say watch for Washington to jump Florida State in the rankings, even though Florida State won convincingly. I think Washington has the inside track to that spot now. And then it comes down to some of the conversations further down the ballot. Let's say Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game. Does Georgia drop out? Does Bama jump in? Georgia stay? Who does that kick to the curb? Same conversation to be had, kind of, with Ohio State and Michigan. This feels like a college football playoff elimination game. If Ohio State wins and Michigan doesn't go to the Big Ten championship game by virtue of losing to Ohio State, they're sitting at home. They don't get a chance to make up for that loss. Ohio State's in. Michigan would drop, I presume, behind Washington and maybe even behind Florida State, even without Jordan Travis. On the flip side of that, Ohio State rated ahead of Michigan in the college football playoff rankings. If the Wolverines win, they go to the Big Ten championship game. No way for Ohio State to make up for that loss. They're likely on the outside looking in. Does Texas factor into this? Texas, pretty much assured of a spot in the Big 12 championship game. You never say never with how wild that conference is and all the changeover at the top. But who do they play? Will they play Oklahoma that squeaked by BYU? Will they play Oklahoma State? Will it be Kansas State who beat Kansas in the Sunflower Showdown? It was hairy, it was tight, but Kansas State gets it done. Who's Texas's opponent? What does that game look like? How does Texas have to look? And what kind of help does Texas need to jump into that college football playoff? 6246 says, everything will work itself out. Pac-12, SEC, Big Ten championship winners are all in. Florida State, if it's undefeated, is in. Texas needs Florida State to lose. Probably true. The wrench into that is that there are two Big Ten teams ranked that high. Bama needs help climbing. They absolutely do. We've seen crazier things than the committee putting both Ohio State and Michigan in this playoff, even if one of them loses and doesn't go to the Big Ten championship game. I think that's the most likely option. But then seeding becomes a huge question. Let's say Bama beats Georgia. Okay, Bama beats Georgia and Ohio State beats Michigan. Ryan Day's off the schneid. Ohio State's your 1. Does Bama jump all the way up to 2? Or do you give an undefeated Pac-12 champion Washington number 2? That would be fascinating to me. Florida State. Do you prefer a Jordan Travis-less Florida State or a Michigan that just lost to Ohio State? Michigan would probably have to drop to the 4, but do you want a rematch of that game that quick? And does Michigan deserve the 3 if they just lost to Ohio State? I don't know. And then do you drop Georgia if they lose to Alabama all the way from 1 to out? Does Georgia just drop to 4 because Alabama's been playing better? They recovered from the loss to Texas. And is Texas's resume in the Big 12 good enough that all it needs is Florida State to lose? I don't think Texas's resume is better than Washington's right now. I really don't. Quinn Ewers, Michael Penix, probably on a similar level. I take Penix, but you could talk me into Quinn Ewers. Supporting cast, Xavier Worthy's a stud at Texas. The tight end, Jatavian Sanders, I think his name is, for the Longhorns. Really good, solid defense, but points, right? These games are played in about as controlled an environment as you can. Washington's offense, the way it is when it's clicking, even the defense stood up in the rain against Oregon State. Oregon State came into the game with the third best, rushing, per play, EPA per play in the country. Washington's rush defense on the road, 130th in EPA per play. And Washington found a way to win that game on the road in the rain. You don't leave that team out. The wildest of wild cards, if you ask me, is Oregon. If Oregon beats Washington, Washington's out. Does Oregon jump all the way up and in? Tomorrow's rankings and this weekend's games will say so much more than I think even the championship games will. The stage for all the drama, or even the lack thereof, is going to be set this coming weekend. Some of those games Friday, most of them on Saturday. Again, don't forget on Friday, early break from 6 to 8, just like normal. Jake Sorensen, Steve Sipple, Coach Bill Bush. After those 3 are off the air, we roll right into pregame. 11 o'clock kick for Nebraska and Iowa. And we have our normal pregame coverage, normal pregame lineup starting at 8 o'clock. We'll take you up to kickoff. After the game then, Nick and Jay, they'll do their postgame thing. Bach and I will be in. And I think we're going to have some volleyball postgame. That'll be after Nebraska and Wisconsin. text line, you were very gracious in setting me straight and letting me know that Wisconsin is not the final game of the regular season. The Huskers have the Badgers on Friday. They will then play Minnesota after that. All academic for Nebraska volleyball at this point, because they wrap up the Big Ten championship, of course, with their 3-set win over Iowa last night. So big congratulations to John Cook and his team on raising the first banner since 2017, I think it was, the first Big Ten championship since 2017. Wisconsin and Minnesota have gone back and forth at the top of the conference, but by virtue of Nebraska's win over Wisconsin, Purdue taking down the Badgers as well, Nebraska, even with a weekend to go in Big Ten play, Husker volleyball is the Big Ten champs. 5277 asks, how is the Michigan-Ohio State game an 11 o'clock game? Here's the thing, 5277, money. Money's the reason. Who is the Big Ten's primary television partner? It's Fox. Fox doesn't want to compete with ESPN's primetime game, that game in the 6:30 to 7 o'clock start range. Doesn't want to compete with that. It also doesn't want to compete with the SEC on CBS. That's the 2:30 kick. What window does that leave you? The 11 o'clock window. That's what Fox has poured a lot of time, a lot of effort into making its baby. That's what Fox wants. That's what Fox gets. It's been that way for a few years, right? We've seen this. We've seen this happening. That more and more, the big noon kickoff games, as Fox likes to call them, are big games. 11 a.m. games aren't throwaways anymore, especially for Big Ten teams. Even some Big 12 teams will get on big noon with their media deal with Fox as well. But I would say watch out for even more big 11 o'clock games moving forward with these West Coast teams coming into the Big Ten. How are they going to handle those games? Watch out for that night game on NBC as well. Nebraska and Wisconsin just got done playing in it this last weekend. Peacock, I'm curious to see how they use. I'm less against 11 o'clock big games on network television, but I'm curious to see what the distribution of games on Peacock is across the Big Ten. Because you're not getting away with keeping Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State completely off the platform. If all Peacock was getting were, Rutgers, Illinois games or Indiana, Purdue games, NBC isn't ponying up nearly as much money as it did to help boost the Big Ten rights media deal to historical heights. So if Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State have to play games on those platforms, so will everyone else. Now, Ohio State, Michigan won't be Peacock exclusive. Penn State, Michigan won't be Peacock exclusive, but all of those teams will play a game on Peacock pretty much every year, at the very least every 2 years. NBC wouldn't pay that much money to get the rights to the Big Ten if it wasn't getting a revenue driver, a reason for people to subscribe to its platform. Good stuff there. We'll take a break. When we get back, we will cross it over with old school DP&J in the building. We'll cross it over, wrap up on the block next.
Living life to its fullest is just a free consultation away. If you're living with symptoms that you can't shake, then bring your low energy, brain fog, belly fat, grumpiness, muscle loss, and low libido to Limitless Male. We have the expertise to get rid of your symptoms. This is what Limitless Male does all day, every day. You won't find another men's clinic like Limitless Male. We know what you're going through. We know how to fix it. Schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Vershawn Jackson for Brent Excavate. Brent's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, oh, big Brant.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln, and with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily, and not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is Bud Steinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf. What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up, the new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh yeah, this is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and Decorators composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance and to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online to deckcityne.com.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Think you need a new furnace due to a cracked heat exchanger? Call Bryant for a free second opinion. Might save you thousands, no matter what brand. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time on the block. Austin Norman, joined
here
by Dave Foreman.
Dang. All right,
You've
we're
gone
here.
for one day, and everything's all new, or something like that.
Yeah, I know there's some stuff. Are you okay? You guys got it? I see you got Harrison in here.
You know, sometimes gremlins just appear.
Yeah.
And none of us have any idea what to do with them because they worked for the first 6 hours of the day, and then I get in here, do nothing different, and things break.
I hear you.
So
Yeah, the great ones adjust, man.
it's just like parenting, right? You do the same thing with your kid every day, and all of a sudden they're just fussy. What's up with that? Kids.
They gotta keep you on your toes, man. That's the thing. It's never gonna be. It's like breaking into equipment, man. You gotta figure out what to do, what not to do. But it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good.
So I said this was basketball weather. Is this football weather or basketball weather today?
I think it's both. I mean, this probably wouldn't be ideal to play a game because I think, for me, rain is just annoying in any sport you do. It's kind of just, do you have enough stuff on? Is it like a damp rain where it's kind of bone chilling, or is it like a rain that has a decent enough temperature that you don't have a whole bunch of thick stuff on? What's water resistant or not? So, but then basketball, you can be playing all day long.
That you could. Are we going to make fun of Nick's coaching picks?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. So
Let's go right to it.
We were sitting in back, just chopping it up before shows, and Nick got on this Dave Aranda.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Nick is all about Dave Aranda.
I will tell you what, man. I wish I had one person that was that excited and talked that glowingly about me that's never met me or anybody that even knows me. I mean, Nick, it was fanboy central.
And that's before he talked about Marcus Freeman.
Man, I mean, listen, I know Marcus Freeman is a handsome brother. I mean, they give it to him, right? He's been blessed. Man, yoked up, looked like a little Hulk Hogan or whatever, a little Incredible Hulk.
Little Korean.
Yeah, man. He probably is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. I didn't even know that, but I know he got that body by Jake and the beach body, and all that. You know what I'm saying? People were working out at home during COVID. Marcus Freeman ain't missed the workout. Nope. Good looking dude. I mean, I can understand, but dang, Nick, them two dudes. He was like, oh yeah, I know everything about Dave Aranda. Oh yeah, then he started talking about Marcus Freeman. He ain't had to get to the other dude, the other offensive coordinator.
I texted you his pick, Ryan Grubb.
Yeah.
The Washington offensive coordinator. He's up for the Broyles Award. Tony White knocked off the list in this most recent go-around. But Nick's dream coaching staff, head coach Marcus Freeman, offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb, defensive coordinator Dave Aranda.
And it's in reference to the Texas A&M job.
Yes.
So, because I think the Texas A&M job it's either going to be a home run hire or it's going to be a joke.
That's typically how things work at A&M.
Yeah, and
well, would it be like a joke of a hire and not a good coach, or a joke for the fans who want a big name and don't get one?
Everything, because they're and the funny thing about it is Jimbo Fisher. It's funny that some of the things that Jimbo Fisher implemented were big deals to players. And you saw the direct reaction when he fired. Like he didn't let any of their skill position guys have sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what everybody wears one sleeve here, one sleeve there. Wouldn't let them wear maroon. And all. Yeah,
in the first game.
If Davis was like a free for all. Hey,
Elijah Robinson wore out.
Yeah, and then where you had Mushin Muhammad's son, Jr. Well, I've been knowing since he's a little pipsqueak, because I know Moose just from living in Charlotte, and he's a great dude. All of a sudden he goes from starting to being on the doghouse, and now he comes right out and he balls out. So those are the type of things that happens. And then you think of Texas A&M over the history. They've made some good hires, not so good hires. Kevin Sumlin at one took him to the peak, and I think it's when you have success, led by Johnny Manziel and that kind of tidal wave, didn't reach the pinnacle or what they expected the year after, and then everybody started to kind of put their crosshairs on Kevin Sumlin. So it's a very unique job. I'd be very surprised if they didn't make a run at like Lane Kiffin or something. I think they're their best bet, considering that they're willing to give away $75 million. Considering that you could have won another year with Jimbo and kind of,
Lane, 7 or 8 mil.
Yeah, more than that. His base salary, and I'm sure his buyout goes down, and kind of parlay it off of that. They're going to have to get a sitting coach, because that's what I mean. And the only reason living in Houston, and here's what I tell people, and it's majority of it is true. Dallas is TCU, Texas.
No SMU?
SMU, but
TCU, Texas.
More of it, more of a TCU, SMU, Texas. This kind of depends on where you're at, like as far as the alumni and who runs it. And then obviously Austin is the one at UT. Oddly enough, I didn't know Austin was the 11th largest city in the United States. I didn't know that.
I learned that this summer too.
Yeah, that was like, I still don't believe it, but it is. It's kind of like you see these facts like, oh, no way it's true, but it is.
Numbers never lie.
Yeah, it is, and they got some pretty powerful dudes down there. Houston, for the most part, is A&M, like alumnus. I mean, deep into it, and so playing in Houston and being part of their inaugural team. And being there, year round, you meet a lot of, big time, Texas A&M, and how they view football, the way they do things, is very different. Now, I think this, the state of Texas is very different in the sense of they define, being their own country.
Sure.
Within the United States.
They told you that.
Yeah. I mean, everything's bigger and better in Texas, and a lot of times that's it. But Texas A&M, I don't know if they call them the border regions or just donors, are very, very influential in the coaching hire, who he hires, how long they stay, how they leave, and money's not an object. Obviously, it showed it to you. And you fire a coach with a national championship pedigree from the Nick Saban coaching tree that's been pretty successful. Yes, he's done some things differently. I think that's Jimbo Fisher kind of digging his heels in. You kind of, did the thing where you made him hire offensive coordinator, kind of strip him of his, like, I won't say masculinity, but of his kind of authority, because he's an offensive coach. It'd be like if I was the head coach and you're like, all right, you got to go hire a defensive coordinator. Well, you hired me as a head coach, defensive guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that you want him to be more of a CEO. That hadn't really worked out well. And so generally, you like to think when you fire a coach like that didn't have a really bad losing season. They weren't like, going to end up like 3-9, 4-8. And you're in the hardest conference, and you are, playing, you are fighting an uphill battle with Alabama and Georgia. So then you got LSU, and then it comes down to quarterback position. There you go. And the competition's thick. You got to think Kentucky's better, Tennessee's better, all these other teams. You better have somebody in your back pocket. You better have somebody. I always say you better have somebody on your left butt cheek. You better have the other one in your right butt cheek, and both of them. You just close your eyes, and whatever one you get first is the best one. If they don't, then you're going to have some people. Then you're going to get into, okay, we hired a guy, and then you're going to try to dice him up and make him seem like he's here. And then as soon as there's a little bit of a downturn, bad performance, boom, he's out of there. Now you're back into the pool again, whereas Texas A&M does better when they have somebody for longevity, because you're not going to get a much bigger job than that.
No.
You know what I mean? As far as like,
even though they haven't won in a long time, the money, the stakes.
You're just not. If you go there and you have, just say you have a run like LSU had in 2019, you will be thought of like that, right? Forever. Like LSU, when you think about LSU, exactly. You know what I mean? They're like,
bust.
What? or do they ever reach expectations? Not so much. But when they do, you're legendary. Same thing with Texas A&M. If Texas A&M is whoever gets there, if they're able to break through, even to win the conference, and say you go to the college football playoffs, or you make a 12-team playoff, couple victories, you're up there, and so you got to. It's a ton of money. You already showed what you're willing to do.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID here on the ticket. One last thing for Jay before we get to old school after this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
My worry for A&M, Jay, is that they're maybe a year too late on the big coach swings. USC poaching Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma was big. Even Brian Kelly not getting a national championship at Notre Dame, but
he was the big
9-10 win seasons all the time. Maybe A&M missed the boat by a couple of years on that. But to your point about having someone in both butt pockets, Dan Campbell was the one they went after first. They reached out to him. As an NFL guy who's having success, how quick did Dan Campbell hang up that phone and say no?
Well, he not quick. He listened to him. Listen, it'd be no different if I was coaching and Nebraska called or Miami called. I would talk to him, and I'm not going to disrespect him because if you know Dan Campbell, he's an Aggie through and through, but he's an NFL coach. He's always coaching in the NFL. He went right from playing to coaching. That's to let you know about Dan Campbell, and he's having a good run in Detroit. He likes what he's doing. Detroit gave him a chance, and so he would do great at Texas A&M. It'd be different, but I think he would do well because I think he can coach. I'm a firm believer. If you can coach and you love to coach, guys know whether you're a coach and you're down for the cause. Doesn't matter if it's college or pro. Now you got to do it differently because you're coaching grown men versus young college cats. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, he would do well down there. I said this with DP. If DP's saying it, his wife and all that, that's fine. But Urban, if I'm hiring Urban, you have to bring somebody with you. I'm hiring you, and I'm turning it over to you. But who's gonna be after you?
When there's too much stress, my heart starts acting up again.
Or you do something that you ain't supposed to. We know, first of all, you hire Urban, you know something's gonna happen. That's cool, right?
Baseline expectation is set.
Hey, listen. If the thing in Michigan hadn't told you anything, I'm hiring whoever I want to. And this is no shot against any commissioner or anything like that. If you can, granted, not within realistic reasons. So we're not, obviously you do something like getting them in prison, and that's
probably not coming back.
You ain't got to worry about paying them anyways, and so you definitely got reason for show cause.
Yeah.
All right. But what I'm saying is, if I'm hiring a Urban Meyer, I need somebody with you because if I'm Texas A&M, I'm trying to hire somebody that wants to be here. We know age-wise and just Urban's late history. And I shouldn't expect that from him,
right?
Because look, we have the talent pool, we definitely have the money, we got the people at the stadium, we're in the best conference, we have an opportunity. We need you to take this thing to pass the word. It's almost like when Urban went to Ohio State. We need to bring in, do your thing, have somebody here so when you want to retire and we actually give you some sort of like Urban Meyer corner in our Hall of Fame because you took us to another stratosphere, that we have somebody here so we don't have to go and start over. Right? It's kind of like he turned it over to Ryan Day, and Ryan Day's done well. So if you do that, then he's definitely a guy that, if you can get him to come to the table. Because for Urban Meyer, yes, I'm sure you probably like Notre Dame, but it's the timing of it. Sometimes you can't get to where you want to. It's like equivalent of.
But if you're Notre Dame, wouldn't you take Urban Meyer over Marcus Freeman right now? If he wants it, don't you just give it to him? Like kind of like the Cubs did getting rid of David Ross when.
It's the same thing. It's a iconic university. It's where the interest was. Urban's always kind of. So according to him, what he said, and people that know him be interested, and if it's something that if he's really interested in, you got to make it. And you know what? From Marcus Freeman, I can be mad and upset, but I can respect it. I can understand it because Marcus Freeman won't be hurting for a job here.
No,
anytime soon. And
even if Nick's not hiring him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Well, first of all, if I'm Marcus Freeman, I want Nick as my agent. Because he'll be just like, show me the money and stuff like that. Right? I can see that. I can see Marcus Freeman doing that to Nick, right? Trying to be a young and upcoming agent. But, also for Marcus Freeman, when you got to think how you lose Tommy Rees, do you really have the true support of Notre Dame decision makers? Really? I mean, but okay, so then I would maybe be okay with going back into the coaching pool and going somewhere else where I actually have the support and kind of come in and really do it without the restraint of, okay, here's our offensive coordinator. Hartman comes here because of our coordinator. We're not going to pay him. He ends up in out. I mean,
that's just weird.
You're penny pinching now? I mean,
of all times now.
Right? Right? We're penny pinching. We lost the coach probably because of Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Penny pinching. Or being behind the market, right? And so there's a lot of factors. I think Texas A&M, the dominoes fall off to that, and then we'll see about UCLA and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of these. Here's one thing I'll say before we go and get into old school is what these universities have to be careful of, and this is where I think Nebraska did a good job, right? You can't. And I'm not knocking anybody's hustle, right? The amount of really good coaches out there is dwindling. It is. So you better be sure if you're trying to play fire, hire, all that. Next thing you know, you're going to be. I mean, I'm just telling you.
You're on your butt.
You better start. You make sure you hire a person that likes the coach in this day and time, because you got to be down for it, and then you got to have people that replicate that. It's a 24/7, 365 job. It is.
Even at the group of 5 level, let alone Power 5 level.
Right. And so you better be down with it, and you better hire the right dude, because you got to think that Nick Saban's, Jimbo Fisher's, take Kirby Smart, and just take hold of Nick Saban's staff, right? And then Urban Meyer and say Jim Harbaugh, like, these guys are starting to age out. You get what I'm saying?
Even Dabo's like younger, but he feels older.
Right. And that might be a dude. If I'm Texas A&M,
you throw the bank?
Oh, yeah. Because he wants the Alabama job. Okay, well, with the understanding, you come in here and do work for 4 or 5 years, Nick can turn it over to you. You'll be right here. Just go right from College Station down there to Alabama. Yeah. We'll even pay for you. We won't even charge you. So we'll see what happens, man.
What else is coming up on old school?
We'll talk a little bit of Wisconsin. I think we got some stars. Hey, man, your boy gonna be. Listen, this will be the closest I ever be to being. I love hockey. Right? I could never do it. I couldn't afford it. Couldn't skate like I'd like to. Could fight.
You glide like running.
Yeah, I could be a defenseman, but they don't. I could be one of those goons or whatever. But I think my face is a little bit not pretty, but I still like it.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the puck drop Wednesday. Lori's coming in. The president of the Stars is coming in and going to talk about it. And then it's, I guess, the Jay Foreman night. And then was made aware I get to ride around in the Zamboni. I'm not riding. I'm riding. So that's the thing. Wednesday night.
Down Stars cause?
Yeah, man. Hopefully get a jersey, man. It's going to be fun. I just got to make sure they got the carpet out there so brother don't fall down and bust my butt, man. And then talk a little NFL action. Then we got a high school game tonight, Class B. Revenge. So we'll see. Yeah.
There we go. That's coming up on Old School and Beyond here on 93.7. The Ticket. Stricky back in the building tomorrow. For him, I'm Austin. Old School DP&J comes your way in just a sec.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week. And right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com, member FDIC.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket.